This is the Iowa Weather Report for Friday, November 22nd, 2013. Now our first look at the 0Z GFS model run. At noon today we have a trough across the northern tier of the country. That's bringing the cold air down and will for quite some time across the area from northern Canada and the Yukon. We have a cutoff low southwest of San Diego that could bring some rain and maybe mountain snow across the desert southwest. But it's just plain cold here. Highs will be in the 30s, upper 20s in the northwest. It'll be becoming mostly sunny late in the day. Saturday, it's just going to be downright miserable. It'll be sunny, bright sunshine, but it's not going to warm us much. Highs in the 20s to near 30. Lows will be in the single digits and teens Saturday morning. Sunday morning, we could see lows in the single digits to around maybe 10 or 11. Some areas may be below zero. Highs back into around 30 on Sunday during the day as winds turn southwesterly. And that will boost temperatures here on Monday back at least into the 30s across the state, maybe a few low 40s. But you can see already cold air starting to dip back into the country once more. And then here on Tuesday, that'll come in, and that's going to bring the winds back to the north. Temperatures drop back into the 20s to lower 30s. We have a coastal storm moving across the Gulf Coast that could bring some rain and maybe a rumble of thunder down there. And that'll move up the east coast here for Wednesday, and that could be very problematic for travel across the northeast, the mid-Atlantic, through the southeast with some rain, mountain snow. And around here, it's just cold and miserable with highs in the 20s and lower 30s. Thanksgiving, it's going to be fairly chilly. There'll be strong north wind over New England and mid-Atlantic. We'll have a wind starting to come back around from the south, but that's not going to keep the temperatures very warm. And even here, a week from today on Black Friday, it'll be a little warmer. Maybe a few clouds around with highs in the 28 to about 34 range, but there'll also be a little bit of snow activity as well, mainly in the late afternoon into the evening, so early day shoppers shouldn't have much of a problem. But then as we go to the extended period, this is when it starts to get a lot more exciting. This is on December the 3rd. We have a trough digging in across the west, an upper level feature moving off the northeast coast, and that's going to bring a fairly decent storm system in here late on the 3rd. This looks to last through at least the 5th, with maybe some rain, a lot of snow, a lot of cold air behind it. And then at the end of the forecast, on December the 7th, we have the system moving through New England, big cutoff light type low over there. And with that looks to be very nasty. This is actually the secondary low from the first storm we saw on the last image. But a lot of snow in the east, a little bit of flurry activity around here, and very, very cold. The satellite image from last evening, we didn't have any of those type storms around. We had a system moving through with a few low and mid-level clouds, a little bit of rain and snow and miserable freezing rain, some thunderstorms across the south, storm over the southwest, and a lot of winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings and winter storm watches on the watch warning map from last evening, extending from Iowa southwestward to Texas, New Mexico, into the west. So very active across the country. QPF chart, precipitation over the next 5 days through Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock, showing very little precipitation around here. Most of this occurred last evening. A lot of rain and precipitation across the southwest and across the Gulf Coast.